As some of you are likely aware, news recently broke out that Seth Rollins will be taking a leave of absence from WWE after the upcoming Survivor Series 2020 pay-per-view event, with Seth reportedly taking this break from WWE because of the fact that Rollins is going to be welcoming his first child into the world in December 2020 with Becky Lynch. But there have shockingly been a few rumors going around that Seth Rollins' leave from WWE may be more than just Seth wanting to spend time with Becky Lynch and their new baby. According to one of our sources, Seth Rollins has been very unhappy with the way he has been treated in WWE over the past year, with Rollins apparently hating the fact that his storyline with the Mysterio family was dragged out for such a long time, despite the fact that Seth reportedly asked Vince to cancel the whole angle and move in a completely different direction multiple times. And a new backstage rumor indicates that Seth Rollins is legitimately considering the idea of possibly leaving WWE for AEW All Elite Wrestling in the not so distant future. There is a rumor going around that Seth Rollins' current WWE contract is actually getting very close to expiring, and we have been told that Seth has been in contact with Jon Moxley in AEW, who has been allegedly telling Seth that he would have a much better time in AEW, where he would make the same amount of money if not more working for All Elite Wrestling, yet have nearly complete control over his character and be pushed far more than compared to WWE. As well, a rumor states that Seth Rollins is not keen on the idea of returning to WWE anytime soon after Survivor Series, due to the way the company has handled the worldwide situation, and doesn't want to risk affecting the health of Becky Lynch or their baby, which is possible if he were to return to WWE. And Rollins allegedly feels that AEW has been doing a much better job at handling the global situation compared to WWE, thus making it the safer option for Seth Rollins and his family. However, we should definitely note that Seth Rollins may simply be using AEW as a way to get more money from WWE and Vince McMahon when his contract does indeed expire, a tactic that would surely work considering Vince McMahon would not want to lose a huge star like Seth Rollins. But nonetheless, the possibility is still there for Seth Rollins to jump ship to AEW sometime next year in 2021, with the WWE's rival promotion AEW reportedly having a lot of interest in acquiring Seth Rollins if he were to leave WWE. Let us know your thoughts on Seth Rollins potentially considering letting his WWE contract expire and then heading over to AEW. And do you believe that Seth would be utilized any better in All Elite Wrestling compared to WWE? Or is Seth better off resigning with WWE and returning sometime next year? One of the storylines on Friday Night SmackDown that Vince McMahon has reportedly been the most happy and interested with is a romantic storyline angle between Buddy Murphy and Aalyah Mysterio, with Vince apparently believing that this storyline is one of the main reasons SmackDown's viewership has been steady and actually a bit higher than normal. And one of our sources has mentioned that despite the fact that some rumors in the recent past indicated that WWE were planning to wrap up this whole Aaliyah and Murphy storyline, rumors now suggest that this angle will not be ending for quite some time. And in fact, fans should prepare themselves for WWE to take this romantic storyline to the next level on SmackDown in the coming months. According to a new backstage rumor, Vince is shockingly planning for Murphy's and Aaliyah's relationship to get much more serious as 2020 closes out, with this rumor revealing that early next year, McMahon is planning for Murphy and Aaliyah to get married on SmackDown in a huge wedding segment, with one source mentioning that Vince feels the storyline will draw huge ratings for WWE next year if the company takes it to the next level, with Aaliyah and Murphy officially becoming a married on-screen couple. And as you would expect, the underlying story here would be the Mysterio family disapproving of Aaliyah's decision to get married with Murphy so soon, and the whole family drama is something that McMahon feels will draw even more fans to tune into SmackDown late this year and early next year as well, with Aaliyah and Murphy likely to become a heel couple in WWE, turning against the rest of the Mysterio family. The WWE's annual Survivor Series pay-per-view event is now only a matter of days away, with the big event taking place this Sunday on November 22nd, 2020. And while there are certainly many exciting developments for this year's Survivor Series event, it cannot be denied that The Undertaker's involvement with the show to celebrate his 30th anniversary in WWE makes the event even more special and highly anticipated by most fans. And if a new backstage rumor proves to be true, Vince McMahon will be doing everything in his power to make The Undertaker's segment at Survivor Series 2020 one to remember. According to this rumor, WWE are planning for a number of legends to return at Survivor Series for The Undertaker's big segment, with one of those rumored returns being The Undertaker's kayfabe brother Kane, who is reportedly set to make a big appearance during Taker's celebration segment, along with Shawn Michaels, Mick Foley, The Godfather, otherwise known as Papa Shango, Rikishi, among others. As well, there's also a rumor that The Fiend Bray Wyatt may be confronting The Undertaker at Survivor Series as well, so perhaps The Fiend will be destroying a few legends, and possibly even The Phenom himself as well at the pay-per-view event, to set up a big match between The Undertaker and The Fiend for next year's WrestleMania. There's no doubt that most wrestling fans were completely caught off guard and downright shocked when the news came about late last week that Zelina Vega had been suddenly released and fired from WWE, and this has certainly been the talk of the wrestling world ever since it happened, with many believing that WWE made a big mistake in releasing Zelina Vega, who had tons of potential in the women's division and a lot of upside with fans. However, it appears as though there's quite a bit of interest from AEW for Zelina Vega once her non-compete clause with WWE runs up in a couple of months, so in all likelihood, Zelina's next big move will be All Elite Wrestling. With that said, most fans are now very concerned for Aleister Black's future in WWE now that his wife Zelina has since been released from the WWE, with many questioning if Aleister will be trying to get out of his current contract with the company, and apparently that is exactly what is happening right now. According to a breaking new backstage rumor, a few days prior to Zelina Vega's release from WWE, Aleister Black had tried getting Vince McMahon to send him back to NXT, clearly because of the fact that Aleister had not been doing very much on the main roster recently, but this was a request that was denied immediately by Vince McMahon, and once Zelina's unexpected firing occurred, we have been told that Aleister Black has no plans to continue working for WWE over the long haul, and is currently trying to get WWE to grant his release from the company before his contract runs up, with Aleister reportedly wanting to join AEW with Zelina next year in 2021. Rumors have continued to go around regarding when the Beast Incarnate Brock Lesnar will be returning to WWE, and more so what the plans would be for Lesnar following his big return to the company. And if a new backstage rumor proves to be true, not only will Brock Lesnar be returning to WWE very soon, perhaps as early as the upcoming Survivor Series 2020 pay-per-view event this coming Sunday, but Lesnar will immediately be setting his sights on Roman Reigns and the Universal Championship over on Friday Night SmackDown, with the rumor stating that Lesnar will be confronting Roman Reigns when he does indeed return, whether it be at Survivor Series 2020 or an upcoming edition of Friday Night SmackDown. Apparently, Vince had considered the idea of having Lesnar stay away from Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns and instead join the Raw brand to perhaps set his sights on Drew McIntyre or Randy Orton, but one source mentioned that McMahon feels the Lesnar and Reigns storyline could truly boost the ratings for SmackDown in the coming months, especially considering Paul Heyman is working with Roman Reigns, thus creating an easy and intriguing storyline between Brock and Reigns.